No, me, sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Pete. Sorry, I was just sorting something out. Jack's not here again. I like that. That's a good one. It suits him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it depends which size, I guess. Yeah, sure. A- And a quick hello to Alan Toon, who's just joined us. Hopefully, he can hear us both clearly. From first, we've got Sam Blees with 1,244 points. This is with the drop round scores. Stephen Walker 2 with 1,217, so he's 27 points behind Sam. Third is Gary Craig, 200 points behind Wood with 1,017 points. Fourth is Spencer McCarthy, 941 points. He's 76 points behind Gary. I'm only going to do that for the top 10. Fifth is Matt Elmore with 935 points. He's 6 points off Spencer. Jamie Wilson in sixth with 798 points. He's 137 points behind Matt. In seventh, we've got Carl Hardy with 795 points. He's 3 points behind Jamie. In eighth, we have Simon Trendle with 780 points. He's 15 points behind Carl. In ninth, we've got Tony Walker 4, or Tony Walker, should I say, with 645 points. He's 135 points behind Simon. And 10th, we've got Chris Needham on 585 points, and he's 60 points behind Tony. In 11th, we've got Roger Morton with 577 points, JB Dejoux with 545, David Ayres 516, Kylie Haddington, or Jason Haddington is his actual name, with 497 points, Matt Flannery in 15th with 452 points. Why you can't be heard at all from David? Are you muted in the stream? Yeah, let's just keep it going until we can hear us. I'm sure you can hear me now. Can you hear me now, David? That sounds better. Yep. Nice.
Everybody should be able to hear me now. In my last Windows update, it's disconnected all of my sound settings. So thank you, Windows. I hate you.
But I can hear you now.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah.
So, as I was telling everybody at the start that nobody heard, we are at Oran Park, folks, the Titan Twisty GP circuit, and it's going to be a whole lot of excellence. Sorry, I'm just looking at Carl Hardy's paint job now. Can you see that one?
That is the greatest paint job I've ever seen. I'm gonna have to
that's
say,
class.
Pete, I'm gonna have to leave you to do some introductions. I need to go tell. I'm gonna tell him to look at this stream. Leave it on that a second. We're back in two.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, that's a classic. How can I make anything more audible than I've already done? I will endeavour to do so, though. Just give me a second. While we see the end of this qualifying session. We've got 5 minutes left of this one. You're back, are you?
Sorry, that just needed announcing.
Yeah. That's fairly amusing, it has to be said. Why is everything so damn quiet on my sound at the moment?
Something messed around with the sound settings again.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to turn on my... I'm just going to have to whack that right up, I think. And turn yours about as high as it'll go as well. Let me see what it's like
on for you.
Yeah, let me see what
That
it's
sounds
like.
better for you.
Yeah.
And better for me now. Yeah, that's louder.
Right, okay, let's go with that then. I can't get anything any louder
Louder.
than that.
Yeah.
You're on maximum. All of my devices are on maximum, so it's whatever that Windows update has done. It's absolutely done me over. Excuse me. Right, so start again. Oran Park, GP circuit, going to be mint. Cal Hardy's got the funniest paint in the world. Jamie Jeffrey also has a very amusing paint. For the right amount of cash, I can tell you who the saboteurs are. But other than that, I'm staying quiet. Right, so we were saying that Sam Blees leads, Stephen Walker leads Gary Craig in the championship. What about the teams? Who's topping that? I'm guessing it's Geodesics, and as they've got at least 5 drivers in here, when you include Matt Elmore.
And the other one.
Yeah.
So in the teams, we have Geodesic Racing with 2,184 points, followed by Spectre 6 with 1,963 points. In third is Team Chimera with 1,642. In fourth, we've got BSTV with 1,627. Fifth is Safeguard by Result with 1,409. We'll go there because there's still very little points to deal with, but I think we've got a close third and fourth for the BSTV boys and Team Chimera, and I would say it's not completely out for Spectre 6 yet.
No, I mean there's plenty to go at. There's 4 races left. This being 2 of them. Obviously, 12 weeks, 2 rounds a week, 24 rounds. We've got where have we got last? Last is going to be pretty tasty, isn't it? Yeah, Red Bull Ring.
And TBR.
Yeah, and loads of drivers like that track with these cars. It's a good car combination.
Spectre 6 might not be able to close that gap because I believe Mr. Walker doesn't have it.
Oh, right, okay. Maybe,
so that might have failed the team championships based off tonight's result.
Possible. So Team 1 might be decided this time round. We'll have to wait and see. Right, so we're getting towards the closing of qualifying. We've got 1 minute left. We'll jump on board here and I'll talk you through one of these laps. So you fire it across the line, which we've already gone past. And the first one is it's just like a kink in the track, really. This one, but if you get your tyres off, you're in the wall on the right hand side there. This is quite a tight left-hander, and is the scene of many murders over the years. In any series that comes here, this is a very tight right-hander. You take a lot of curb here, and then get down this short straight as quick as you can, defending in a lot of places because there's nowhere to go on this track. Right round these multiple right-hand turns and over the bridge. You go right over the bridge again, which is why he's so far left. Carry your momentum through. Switch your car from left-hand side to right-hand side after this corner here, when you've been through that little S section. Because this is a long left-hander, or it feels like it when you're in the car. And then you fire it up the hill. Where's he gone? Oh, it's the end of qualifying. Nothing's working for me tonight.
Qualifying ended.
Yeah. Right, so let's talk you through our qualifying grid. Your pole man for tonight is Stephen Walker for Spectre 6. He did a 110.190. Can you extend gridding for me?
Yeah.
Spencer McCarthy goes off second, and there was nothing in it. 0.049 of a second for Geodesic Racing. Carl Hardy, in his new paint job that he doesn't even know about, goes off third for Safeguard by Result. Sam Blees goes off fourth for Geodesic Racing. Matt Elmore goes off fifth for Geodesic Racing. Sorry, misread that. We'll come back to that. Gary Craig goes off sixth for BSTV eSport. He'll want to move up forward pretty quick. Michael Seal goes off seventh. He's been excellent in the last few races for Spira by Result. Simon Trendle off 8th in the difficult-to-drive Honda for Team Chimera. Jamie Jeffrey in a very safety-first paint job goes off 9th for CCR. Roger Morton off 10th for Safeguard by Result. 11th will be Jamie Wilson in the other hard-to-drive Honda for Team Chimera. And then Arnaud Chenonnier in 12th If I find the right button, I'll move us forward. Will I or won't I? Well, that's annoying. It won't now move the screen.
That's right. I've got the rest. So in 13th, you've got Tony Walker, respect to 6. In 14th, you've got JB Dejoux for BSTV. In 15th is Matt Flannery. He's a GO driver, but I'm not too sure what the team's called. I'm sure he's on his own though. In 16th, you've got Kyler Haddington or Jason Haddington, and 17th, you've got Chris Needham.
Thank you for that. It did actually work in the end. It's just on a massive
Just as I said it. Yeah, no, you're fine.
Right then.
It sounds like we're getting ready.
It does. Revs are starting, but we've not got lights yet, so we've still got some time. I'll put everything that our viewers will want to see on the screen. We're looking at the back of the grid so that we can't see any of these idiots that think it's cool to flash their lights.
Hello, Mark, as well in chat.
Oh, Mark
Mr. Speedy himself. Yeah. He's very on the point in this car at the minute. We've had a few races with him recently.
Lights are coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are green. The starting marshal did not wait. Carl Hardy's extra payload has slowed him down from the start there.
Oh, and he hit Cap on the rear.
Did he?
Yeah. Controlled it though.
Yeah, we've got a wider view here so we can see what's going on a bit further back.
Gary's on his inside.
Oh, that was a good dive really from tight. Gary.
They kept it clean though.
They have. They've done well there.
Oh, the Michael's trying to get through on Gary.
Oh, he's eased him out of that corner, but he's not made anything work there though.
Roger Morton's absolutely flying up here. He's side by side with Simon.
He was.
I didn't realise he was that high up.
Yeah, he's moved forward well. Oh, Stephen Walker. And also
Spencer McCarthy.
Yeah, I think slowing in sympathy and letting him through. I think there was something went on there. We'll have a look at that very shortly. In fact, we'll have a look at it now. Everybody's piling through, but
a rear shunt.
Oh, he's just clipped him. Yeah, he's just clipped him. The spotter would have screamed at the last second, and neither of them would have been able to do much. So Spencer showing fantastic sportsmanship, but that does mean that Sam Blease, his teammate, has legged it at the front.
He did tell him to keep going, but he's still giving the position back, which is fair play. But they've caught up to a sideways car. Oh, two teammates in each other.
Who was that? Because there's
Chris and Kylie.
Right. Let's have another look at that in a second once these guys have sorted themselves out.
And JB's getting a bit of a nudge as well.
Right.
From Mr. Durex.
Yeah. Jamie Jeffrey.
He's penetrating. This looks like Chris was trying to avoid these two coming through, obviously knowing that they're absolutely flying. He took a bit of a wobble, and then Kylie's been caught off guard by it, by the looks of that.
Definitely, he's got his braking point all wrong there. Right, okay, so that's that one. That was blue on blue, as you rightly pointed out. So we've got a Geo lockout at the front. Oh no, we haven't. Sorry, that's Matt Elmore. So Carl Hardy in third, making sure that that paint job gets seen right at the front of the queue. I do believe that Jason's in the pits, and I'm not sure why. He must have taken some sort of damage from that. As Michael Seal tries to put a move on Jamie Wilson. Jamie Wilson's up 4 places with everybody else's shenanigans.
Now this is just people starting to get into the rhythm and hoping they can stick it on the track, because at any moment you go off here, there's large runoff and the grass tends to suck you off the track.
Jamie Jeffrey having a really long stare here at Arnaud Chenonnier, who's gone on a very strange line into the last corner. And and might mean that he gets mugged by the time he gets to the end of this short straight, or the start-finish straight. Not quite, he's not got any kind of run on him there, I don't think.
And as that was Jason sat at the end of the pits as well, I believe.
Yeah, it's got him as crashed.
More smoke. We've got another smoke. Someone else has crashed.
I think that was Chris Needham again. As often happens in these situations, one crash precipitates another. Where is he? He's back here at the moment and fighting the car around the track. Jason Haddington is still going, so that's good.
We have got a few people missing time. Andy Littler's missing as well.
Yeah, that's unusual. So Spencer's got past JB just a short time ago. Stephen Walker there on the inside of Matt Flannery. I wondered when that had happened. That was a very well controlled move, and both drivers doing well there. Sam Blease at the front is not getting away massively. As Michael Seal is under pressure from Jamie Jeffrey still.
What happened to Michael at the start? I thought he started further up.
He did. I'll try and see if there was something on there. I think it was just a bit of bunching and he's got shuffled back.
He's got shuffled back, yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing on the event tracker that I can see.
And then we've got Spencer chasing down Tony, who's got a what looks like a dented rear end.
Yes, he's been inappropriately interfered with there, I think.
Well, we can't blame that car because it's too far up the pack by the looks of it.
Yeah. Spencer's looking super racy, a much wider line into the corner than a lot of cars, gives him a really good drive off the corner. The amount of cars just... No. Jamie Jeffrey ahead having a look, but not able to do much. Stephen Walker's got JB on his radar now for an overtake, as Spencer has just done Tony. Or has he? Yes, he has, yes.
Yeah, he got caught out going into the corner. He's, I think he eased off more than he wanted to.
Yeah, JB's still got he's still got Stephen right on his rear bumper. I think there'll be an overtake done somewhere very shortly, because he's not going to want Sam Blease to get that many more points over him, even if it is a sprint race.
What Stephen doing the same move as he did to Matt on JB?
Yep, that was again very well done. Michael Seal.
But that Audi's not giving up. The Audi's side by side with JB's let off to let Stephen up through the corner. Oh!
And that's Jamie Wilson ahead, tussling with Roger.
Again, Roger's not for giving up.
No, he's staying with
him. He's letting him through now.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, he's not. No, he has.
Yeah, he's had to now. That wide line through there is so powerful. David Ayres says, Scary Mary says she loves omelette paint. I'm guessing omelette is Carl Hardy, who's currently in third at the moment, but not getting the footage on that paint that he'd want, I don't think, because of
all the battling.
All the other stuff that's going on, yeah. Stephen Walker with his brother now. Yeah, it's a struggle for me to...
Let him by?
Yeah,
or is he going to stick it?
a struggle for me to see events on this track because every time each car goes past the pit entry, it says they're pitted. So I have to scroll miles to try and find whatever's happened.
Oh, Roger nearly into the back end of Jamie.
Well, that's the Walker brothers, not the music, the racers.
Michael's through.
Yeah.
And Jamie Jeffrey also trying to get through, but he didn't quite make it alongside. No. Oh, Roger's hit the curb.
He has, and Jamie's kind of got nowhere to go there. There's no overtaking opportunity, even with a mistake. So, Mark Draper, why are you watching and not racing? You can't possibly still be ballroom dancing. Must be knackered by now if you were. Further up the road, or back down the road I should say, because Spencer's now shuffled himself backwards. No, he hasn't. He's chasing down Arnaud Chenonnier on the recovery drive.
With Stephen close to behind. We've also got Kylie in the pits again.
Yeah, he's going to get frequent flyer miles back here. It did say before he went off track, but it didn't say he'd actually crashed, so whether that's from earlier incidents, I'm not sure. Michael Seal still trying to work over Jamie Wilson.
If we stay as we are, we're going to see Mr. Morton in the feature race starting in pole.
There is a very elaborate explanation of why Carl Hardy is called Omelette. And it's hilarious. That's brilliant. Nice one, Scary Mary. Ooh. So, Gary Craig, who was quick in qualifying, putting pressure on Omelette, who was also super fast. So, this is going to be interesting to see how that works out. As
is he going to get by? He's going to get by.
Oh, there's a bit of door banging.
It's allowed Stevens to come through. Oh no!
He straightened him up though. He did him a favour. He straightened him up.
Yeah.
Rubin's racing and it's TCR, so I don't think Arno will feel too hard done by. It was a bit.
If that was the Durex car, that definitely would.
Well, at least it'd have had a lube, wouldn't it? But you know.
Yeah.
These two are still here, and so are these two. I think Gary's really going to have to look at getting this done into this last corner. Stevens' overtake was a bit of a dive, wasn't it? But
I think he saw that Arno was a little bit offline, so he's obviously gone for the move, trying to catch up to Spencer and keep going with him.
Yeah, look at that. It's a good job he's got that paint on. Because he's inserting himself into Roger's
rear.
Yeah.
Is he going to go for the overtake? No, it's not.
Mark Draper said he'd be raging. Well, you've got to go with the... Ooh, there we go. That's Michael Seal just done Jamie Wilson there. I'll have another look at that, because that looked like a very tidy overtake. I'm sure Jamie... will have pressured him all the way with it. He's got down the inside, late on the brakes. Did he get it squared up? He did. That's a nice overtake. Very good. We like that.
Again, very clean by both drivers.
Very.
But we all know what... Oh, and Michael Seal has dropped back.
He has. Why do I do this to myself, honestly? There's another thing going on here as well, which is... Yeah, there we go. Like a well-lubed, yeah, straight through. No messing. And then repaying the favour, I think this is going to go down as.
Just got a little bit wide through that corner, and then you're off the line then, aren't you?
Yeah, and he always pushed him right out. Well, he hasn't pushed him, he hasn't touched him, but you know what I mean. And he's lost 2 places there, so Michael Seal shuffles himself, or gets shuffled rather, backwards.
Now we're seeing the pressure of 6 cars all together.
Oh my God!
Because now this has allowed Stephen and Spencer to catch up.
Yeah, and they're going to start scything their way through this lot.
Because at the minute, with the changes we've had, Michael is on provisional pole for the feature.
Yeah, this is the fight for 6th place, believe it or not. 6 cars for 6th place.
While at the front end of the pitch, you've got Sam Blees 1.3 seconds ahead of Matt, and then Matt 2.4 in front of Carl, and then Carl and Gary fully chasing each other down still.
Yeah, we've only got 5 minutes left of this one as Jamie Wilson tries to break the toe and protect his position. Oops, I've just pressed the wrong button.
And Roger's got a wobble on, and Spencer down the inside.
Yeah, he may have that done, or maybe not, because ahead of them there's fighting, and Roger's going to keep
Stephen late on the break as well, and he's got on the inside of Spencer.
Yes.
Oh, he's let go.
Yeah.
He's let it off. Again, through there, side by side would be a little bit risky.
Tell you what, Jamie Wilson's done excellently well there. He's defended that 6th place extremely well.
Spencer right in the background of Roger. He's off. He's on back on again.
He is.
Oh, and Stephen sideways.
Oh,
He's drifted it and caught it.
he has as well. That was very talented driving to capture that one. Jason Haddington's on the chat saying, I think it's an early night for him.
And then, oh no, has just dive bombed in on the inside.
Well, we're going to have to watch that in a minute when it comes up on the event tracker.
Say dive bomb, he's probably just thinking, my turn.
Yeah. So I have to search all the way back through a whole load of fake pit stops. Oh yes, that is.
But that is
lovely send from about 2 postcodes back.
Yeah.
Right, let's join the melee again. If my screen actually changes. I'm having some issues tonight, can you tell?
Oh, and Stephen's got past again. Has he?
Not yet. It's gonna be very soon, I reckon, and I don't think.
Oh, he is. He's back past him.
I think there's gonna be a bit of a repayment here.
Ooh, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He around the outside. No, on the inside.
No, inside. So he's going to catch up with that other group in a second. That's Spencer. Absolutely crawling all over the back of Roger. I think he's had enough of seeing the back of that car now. Oop, I am.
So we've not got that long left. I think this should be our lap.
Oh, and look at these 3 now. This is Jamie. He's been caught by the other Jamie. He's now flashing his lights for something. We'll go back and look at that in a second. We're not on last lap yet, I wouldn't have thought.
No, we're not. Sorry, it's probably 2 more laps, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would say so.
I did, speaking to the guys earlier, they did say it was very, very a fine line between the last lap happening and not happening.
Oh, and in the background, I don't know whether you can see Roger Morton.
Spencer.
Something's happened to him as well. Ooh,
oh, he's gone straight off.
Yes, that's why. He straight lined turn 1. I told you on that run-in lap that we nearly got complete that a little bit off track at that first turn, and you are history.
However, this puts Michael still on provisional pole with Spencer shortly behind.
It does.
Can he do anything within the next 2 laps? And Jamie's dropped back in position, so now Jamie's on pole.
Yes, he is.
For the future race.
That's half of the Great Wall of Honda. The other half is currently in 5th place. So
I'm pushing the car nicely. It looks like
oh,
Matt has put up to Sam as well.
He's certainly closed the gap a lot. But whether it's enough, I don't. There's nothing on the event tracker if he did. We'll watch.
So we are going to have one. This is our last lap now. So 17 laps looks like it's going to be it because.
Yeah, I can see Barney just on the left there. I was trying to seek it out. So these two go around onto the start of the last lap, whilst these guys are still slugging it out here. Look at this.
Stephen is right behind Spencer right now.
And his
These
brother.
two wanted to push for this position to get that pole position.
Yeah, his brother's right on the heels of Arnaud Chenonnier.
Spencer goes on the outside. Oh, he's kept it.
Oh, he has, but he's going to be. If he can stay alongside that Honda, he's going to have the optimal line into the next corner. But Jamie's keeping him shallow there. Jamie might do all right at the end of this. Might. Because this is the corner where it's all defined. Nah, he's had to get out of that.
And Stephen gets through as well.
Yeah. 2 in 1 corner, he'll be raging about that. Lovely driving from all three, though.
As we should be seeing Sam go over the line. Yep, with Matt very, very close behind him. And then followed by my man himself, Carl. Gary Craig in 4th. A very decent Simon Trendle in 5th there.
Yeah, that is a good result for the Hondas. Or that Honda, anyway.
And then we've got Mr. Durex himself. Jamie Jeffrey again.
Yeah.
And Stephen Walker's got past Spencer.
Yes, right on the... No, he didn't.
He did. He's just pipped him for 8th place, so Stephen Walker's in pole.
Let's have a look at that again.
Is that a sportsmanship moment, or is that a...
I think it might be, Look, Spencer's slowed right up. Has he run out of fuel?
He's broke. He braked. He braked to let Stephen through.
Ah, right, okay.
I think, again, we all know that the 3 S's between them all appreciate the challenge of trying to finish up.
Yes, very much so. Well,
so
what a
Stephen
race.
A second chance.
Apologies, folks, if I didn't keep up with everything.
It's fine. They could hear me talk. Probably more than watching it.
Right then, would you like to run us through the Heat 1 results?
So, race 1 results, we had Sam Blees in 1st. In 2nd place, we had Matt Elmore. In 3rd place was Carl Hardy. In 4th place was Gary Craig. In 5th place was Simon Trendle. In 6th place is Jamie Jeffrey. In 7th place is Michael Seal. In 8th place is Stephen Walker, who will be starting on pole for our feature race. In 9th place is Jamie Wilson. 10th was Spencer McCarthy. 11th was Arnaud Chenonnier. In 12th was Tony Walker. 13th, Matt Flannery. 14th, JB DeJoux. 15th was Chris Needham. 16th was Roger Morton. And 17th was Jason Haddington with a very limpy car at the end, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And he's just put, I think, an early night for me.
Yeah.
Not on this track. I think this is a track that it make or breaks you.
Couldn't agree with you more. It's just one of those tracks that you have to have had a decent amount of practice on. This one still exists in real life, doesn't it? Or is this the one where... No, that's Gingerman, I think, which is the one that's been built across. It's an Australian track. It used to be very popular, but it's very intense as we watch Stephen Walker practicing his pit stop, which is a feature of this 40-minute race that's to follow. So don't go anywhere. Jason, get back in your car. I don't think he'll be taking part by the sound of what he's saying on the chat, but shame that he's not going to join us if that's the case. Both the Spectre boys are out. Arguably one is a Geo car. And Roger Morton's out again, practicing. So
we're all going to want to practice the pits here.
Yeah, and
I'll remember.
That's going to be quite a definitive result, that last race, isn't it? Because Sam Blees obviously got the plaudits for winning. And Stephen Walker ended up quite far down the field in the end compared to where he would have expected to have been. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing now that Spencer's gone. Do you know what? He's got a chance of the championship here. I'm going to let him through because now we've given him. He's given Stephen the position that he started in the last race. He's starting in this race.
Yeah.
But Sam's got a heavy job to get back through them other 7 cars in front of him.
Yeah. Roger's going to want to practice his pit lane exit a bit more. Seeing as he went to grade the verge a little bit there. Let's see.
To speed up time, do we want to go through the starting grid now? Do you want me to go through it?
I don't know whether you can.
I can see it. Oh, as Stephen hits the wall on the way through to the pits.
He doesn't want to do that.
I can see it in the game. So
okay.
In first place, because it's reverse 8 grid, you've got Stephen Walker starting in first. Second will be Michael Seal. Third will be Jamie Jeffrey. Fourth was Simon Trendle. Fifth is Gary Craig. Sixth is Carl Hardy. Seventh is Matt Elmore. Eighth is Sam Blease. Ninth will be Jamie Wilson. 10th will be Spencer McCarthy. 11th is Arnold Chenanier. 12th will be Tony Walker. 13th, Matt Flannery. 14th, JB Dijou. JB Dijou. 15th is Chris Needham. 16th is Roger Morton. And 17th is Kyler Haddington, who is still in there. So I hope he's pulled his big pants on.
Yeah.
And we'll have another good outing. Give it a go, mate. If it all else fails, you end up in a wall, take out the whole field, and retire. And then give us something to look at.
And then call it racing experience, because that's what I do.
Yeah. Pete, use your right foot.
Yeah, all of that. Let's have a look at this pit lane entry. I'm assuming he's going to take another dive into it. He is. Oh, right. The cones are right there, and that is super tight.
This is a really tight. We were talking about this earlier. If a car decides, I'm going to pit now in front of you, and you're on your last lap, unlucky.
Yeah. That's going to be pretty meaty.
Yeah. So as we said earlier, you've got Stephen Walker in first, Michael Seal in second, Jamie Jeffrey third, Simon Trendle fourth, Gary Craig fifth, Carl Hardy sixth, Matt Elmore seventh, Sam Blease eighth, and then we presume with the rest of the grid, as we said earlier.
So, interesting things to watch in this one. Stephen Walker making a run for it. But Michael Seal was quick in that last race. He just got tangled up in battles he couldn't resolve properly. Jamie Jeffrey similar. So the first 4, because Simon Trendle's super fast as well. They're going to hold their own for quite a while, I would think. You haven't extended gridding, have you?
No, but I can do. There's no point now, is there?
No point now. We just need Tony Walker to join, and he has done. So, right.
Good.
Let's get on a better camera than that. As the lights go out, and they are gone.
A brilliant start at the front. Oh, one of the cars didn't get a good start, and Gary comes through the outside of him.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who exactly that was, and I think
it was Jamie Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simon Trendle kept his position quite well. Stephen being closely followed by Michael.
Gary Craig on the inside of Simon there to take third place.
He made it.
He has. That's a lovely overtake, actually.
As Matt Elmore was on the
wide.
outside of Carl.
Oh my God. Is that Spencer? Or Sam and Spencer, actually.
Sam has dropped back a couple of places then, because Jamie's now in the lead of them both, or ahead of them both, not in the lead.
Yeah.
And Matt Elmore just in front.
And they are swapping positions constantly, these two. And now they've sorted themselves out finally. It is great to see teammates properly racing one another, and these two do it regularly. They're probably giggling like schoolgirls inside those make-believe helmets. JB really looking racy at the minute.
Based off the previous scores, I think we're going to see Stephen get his head down as soon as he can here.
Well, he's already got a reasonable gap.
Nearly a second on the gap. Yeah, well, Gary's closing in on Michael. With Simon very closely followed by Carl and Matt Elmore all together.
Yeah, Carl was scandalously late on the brakes, and he's run a bit wide there, and he's going to get geoed in a minute.
It's like flat to the rear, you mean?
Yeah. Mark Draper says Simon gave him too much room. It's funny.
Oh, and we've got a car off.
Oh, where's that? It's not
Well,
on.
at least I heard.
Sometimes
I heard the guttiness.
it might have been this, which is going to be nothing, I can tell.
Yeah, very much. Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's a nothing event.
It's lucky because you can easily crash into the car in front of you if you try and react quickly to it.
Yeah, Spencer McCarthy is being super fast at the moment.
Oh, he's got past Jamie as well. He's.
Right then,
These cars are through that bit. If you make one mistake, that's the car gone.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cars for second place. Jamie Wilson is just about getting overhauled here by Sam Blease, or maybe not this particular time round. Jamie Jeffries says, I'll have a look at that as well, thanks mate.
He's still holding on to it, which is fair play.
He is.
Sam's just behind. But
Yeah.
has he got the inside here? Oh, he does.
Yeah, but Jamie's holding his own there. That's very good racing from Jamie Wilson.
Jamie Jeffries still there on the inside and Tony behind him. Oh. It's getting very tasty back here.
Yeah, I think JB's just overtaken Arnaud Chenonnier.
And Matt Flannery has as well.
Right, so everybody's overtaken Arnaud Chenonnier at the minute because he went off track.
So Roger as well, yeah, Roger through, and so did Chris.
Oh,
It looks like.
Look at that. Oh. Sam. Oh, that was a nasty little hit at the end there. And it really rearranged the direction of Jamie Wilson's car. That looks almost like weird physics.
Yeah, like a car getting stuck.
Let's have a look at this from over the top and we'll see what happens.
Oh, Sam just couldn't get the car to stop in the corner and to keep tight.
Yeah.
That's just a bit unfortunate, that. Especially how many positions Jamie has now dropped off that.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie had to turn in at some point, didn't he? And there was a car there the whole time, and he's come off very badly there because of that second little hit. Right, let's go back to live racing.
That gap now, 3.6 seconds.
Yeah, Stephen Walker away at the races.
Oh,
Simon. Oh, my God.
Well. Do you know what that was? He got scared by the tyres behind him. As Gary went sideways as well, round the corner. Or did that just... Was it just the camera angle?
Might have been the camera angle, but those two cars are very similar, aren't they? They're a shorter wheelbase than the Elantra, so maybe that's got something to do with it.
And Spencer's gotten past Matt Elmore this time. Currently chasing down...
And Sam Blease is at the back. He's gone all the way back, you know, to give that place back to Jamie Wilson. He's gone all the way to the back of the field. Yep.
It's just to give the play...
No joke. Utter sportsmanship.
Yeah, that's fair play from Sam. I mean, you've got to give it to the drivers if they're making that decision themselves. It shows that they're more interested in the friendly fights that they have rather than knocking each other off track.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as Mark Draper's just said, that is unreal sportsmanship. It really is, and it's just everything that we want to see in our leagues, to be honest. Oh, hang on. I was focused on the wrong car there. I was focused on the wrong car. Sam's gone through, but I think Sam's gone through because of this. Whatever this it actually is. Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
sideways car. And that happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
Oh!
I mean,
as Kylie came through.
Code Brown on his own teammate there. I mean, that's crazy.
And I've got to say, hats off to Kylie, because he's still on track after 6 laps.
Yeah. Keep going, son. Right then.
I don't mind that in a nasty way.
No,
but
neither do I.
He obviously gave up earlier because he damaged the car, but at least
Isn't
he's managing to keep it out of the wall this time.
Yeah, he'll get some decent points. Other people will throw it at the scenery before the end of this. It's 40 minutes. There's a pit stop. Excuse me if you hear me dying, folks. I do have COVID at the minute. Courtesy of a trip to London.
Stephen's still pulling away at the speed of knots. Gary, Simon, Carl, Spencer and Matt are all within a second of each other. Gary seems to have lost Michael for a little bit.
Yeah, and his toe, because now Simon Trendle is starting to crawl all over him.
So we've got the Great Wall of short wheelbase cars this week.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. Frey Bentos is closing in on the... Oh, Omelette, that's his name, isn't it? Omelette's closing in. That's brilliant.
I wonder if that's a thing. The Frey Bentos omelette.
I don't know, it will be soon.
If they start doing that now, we want royalties.
Yeah. Now...
Spencer is ready to pounce on that pie.
He really is, yeah.
Oh, there would have been an even better moment if Jamie Jeffrey was pouncing on the pie, but never mind.
Yeah. Sure, there's a pork pie joke in there somewhere as he tries to have a dive at Simon there.
Matt did lose out a little bit there, but he looks like he's gaining back on him again.
I mean, whoever's done that paint job, he feigns ignorance, has done a good job of choosing Frey Bentos because they come in metal tins, don't they? But anyway. Further back, there's...
we'll just say it's wobbly.
Yeah, well, yeah. A heated discussion here over 9th place involving a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nearly 6 cars. No, it is 6 cars.
Past Simon.
Oh, and
Simon's got 2.
That's
is he at
because he's off track.
And he's got damage.
Let's have a look and see what happened there.
That'll be a slight bit of grass. Back end's come out and gone straight in the wall.
It certainly looks that way. Yes.
There you go.
And yes, you called it.
And that was unfortunate. Simon was running quite well in that car, so we'll see whether he pits or whether he...
It was more of a rub than a crash, wasn't it? Oh, here comes Roger. Willis Roger. For those Monty Python fans. Oh, JB, where are you going, mate? Oh.
That again was grass, I presume?
Yeah, it will be.
The opposite way.
And again, the second car we've seen do that today. It's notorious, that corner, for stick a tyre off and disappear off into the distance.
Oh no, on the inside. Stephen, as we've got Tony Walker in a sandwich. And we've got some friendly chats between Roger and JB.
Really?
Yeah, it's been quite fun listening to the guys that are all starting to, like, obviously they've been racing with each other for a while, and they've all started having a little bit more banter about them.
Right.
So they're giving each other as much stick as possible and pushing each other around. It's good to see. We've seen it on the Friday races. As we see Sam Blease pitting.
Yep.
That was a last minute call. That's hopefully he didn't.
I thought I heard the sound of bending metal, but it might just have been Carl Hardy.
He's putting the pie in the microwave.
Was it JB, or is that JB's damage from hitting the wall on the previous lap? Oh, JB,
Oh,
keep it on.
mate.
Ah, it's to the left, mate. I know I sound like wobbly, but it's to the left. And he's still going. I'd pit that car if I was you, son. So this is Simon Trendle and...
See, Matt's now dropped off the back of Spencer again.
See, I wonder if Jamie Jeffrey's going for the Safe Driver Award. See what I did there?
You could say it was very safe.
Very safe, yeah.
Especially if he rubbers up. It's also been very smooth with his overtaking.
Hey.
Try not to rib people. I'm going to stop now before I say something I shouldn't.
No, it's too funny. Keep going.
As we see, was that... Who came out the pits then?
That was Sam Blease coming out the pits.
Only just coming out the pits? That means he's a lap down.
Don't forget how short a lap is. Oh, actually, he was in the pits forever.
42 seconds. 48 seconds.
That's a pit lane penalty. 40-second penalty, I'm guessing that is.
Yes.
So that changes everything yet again.
Because that must mean Sam's on... Can we see incident count?
I suppose
Yeah, we can.
you can, I can't. So don't forget, don't tell anybody
So-
anything. We fell for that once before.
No, it was due to speeding in the pits, which we said which I did call because I said it was very, very late call into the pits, which is always going to be a stroller here.
And JB's on his way out of the pits as this lot are coming round the inside of him.
Oh!
But
I just Spencer nearly giving the pie a bit of a bite. And these guys are pushing. I mean, the fact that Gary's where he is at the minute, and he has been saying the car for a couple of weeks has been struggling around the tracks we're on.
yeah, Jamie Jeffrey trying to slip it in at any corner he can at the minute.
Look at the lead now.
I know, 5.2 seconds.
Stephen's going to overtake the whole field at this point. Just in the pits. Maybe. Mark? I don't know what you're on about, mate. He publicly wanted me to redo his paint as a pie. It wasn't me that redid the paint, but it's the pie boy. For next week, it's going to be an omelette now, thanks to.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, it needs to be an omelette next week, doesn't it?
What's a famous brand of omelette? Is there one?
You've lost me. I don't know. Google that while we do this. I know Chenonnier has now entered the pits. Off screen. Simon Trendle and Jamie Jeffrey. Oh, bit of door rub in there. Simon's trying to keep this position as much as he can. And Jamie's had to give best again. So around they go again. Or has he actually got it on the inside here? That outside line here's got a lot of grip and it puts you on the inside for the next corner. So great racing from these two.
There is no such thing as a branded omelette.
Really? Damn it.
I suppose you wouldn't buy it if they did, would you? It's egg.
Now, there is a company called Omelette. They make chicken houses, so we're going to go with that, I think.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
So
that was close. Phew, God almighty.
Have we just seen Spencer Pitt?
Yes.
Is that what? Yeah, I was going to say, because I can see Carl, Gary, and Michael on their own again.
Yeah, and Jamie Wilson, is it? Or is it Simon Trendle, sorry, in the pits as well.
And Spencer's still sat there. Please tell me.
He can't be.
Not another 40 as well. He has.
You're joking.
The fact that Jamie Wilson was 9 seconds in the pit, Spencer McCarthy must have done it as well.
He very much looks to have
Simon
done.
exits. Yeah, because Simon was behind him.
Simon was only stationary for 7 seconds, so he's away. Clearly that's a solar-powered Honda and doesn't need any fuel.
I just see Tony Walker and Matt Flannery. And he is. Spencer is only just on his way out.
Where is he going to emerge? He's going to emerge a lap down.
Oh, it's going to be very tasty because he's going to be where he would have been given when
yeah. Without a penalty, this is where he would have been.
Where did Matt go? Oh, Matt's in the pits now.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to go 3 for 3.
Let's have a look.
I think Matt would have probably chosen to take it more cautiously.
You say that, but even the best of them, I'm going to class myself in that bracket. Let's just have a look at...
No way.
What?
Oh, no, he's on his way out. I was going to say, there's no way he's to start there.
Oh, that's the wrong
Just
bit.
after it, isn't it? Yeah, unfortunately.
Is it this one then? So we'll see how fast he was actually going.
The problem is that cone catches you off guard massively. So he's decided to go last minute, look, in. Too fast there.
Yeah. Not much in it though, is there? Not much in it.
Well, there's not much to go into a pit lane, is there?
Well, no, that's true.
Everyone uses the pit lane as the road to drive on because, you know, iRacing, white line.
Yep.
As we see Omelette or Bay Frentos pit. What kind of pie is it?
Depends.
What kind of pie is in his car though? Is it chicken or is it just
I think it's probably
generic...
steak and kidney.
Well, that's just boring. It's all about the chicken for me. Bay Frentos chicken pies are amazing. I sound like Carl. As Matt Elmore is come out behind Simon, he's quite close to him as well.
Yes.
Which would mean that if Spencer didn't have his issues, as we see Jamie Wilson, I thought Jamie Wilson pitted then. I was going to say he's already pitted, but it was the...
Yeah, I don't believe the event tracker. It tells you they're pitting every lap.
And who's this battling with Stephen? He's let him go. 42. Is it Arno or is it Chris?
Arno Chenonnier.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt Elmore closing right in now on Simon Trendle.
He doesn't care about the filling. A pie is a pie in his eyes. Okay, that's fair enough, Dave. I agree.
Matt Flannery into pit road.
Can we go 3 for 3 on the GL boys, or is Matt Flannery pitted correctly?
Well, Matt Elmore's already been in.
Ooh, shots fired.
Yeah. So, half the field is yet to pit. You can see their pit stop times on your screens.
Matt Flannery is on his way out, so we didn't get 3 for 3. Oh, and my bingo as well, Matt. You ruined it for me. So now it's all up to who is going to break first, because there seems to be a big gap between Gary and Jamie now.
Yeah.
Between Jamie and Roger, there's just as big a gap.
Yeah, they've kind of had their own individual incidents, and people have pitted from in the gaps between them and stuff. So once we'll have to wait and see what everything flushes out like after everybody's been in. There might be more penalties for speeding in the pits yet, so let's see what happens with all this. These two are very much the closest battle on track. Spencer has currently got the fastest lap.
One again.
No, he will now. If he's got clear track in front of him, he won't bother to pit. There is no reason for him to.
He's got Matt Flannery just in front of him.
Oh, has he? Ah, yep. Right.
So he's now coming up to the people that are pitted that are towards the back end of the track.
Yeah.
So I was looking at his time thinking it seemed to have been going down. Oh. As
Ooh,
McFlurry
he's
lets
had
him
a good
through.
look. Yeah, he's let him go. Nice work. Showed his intention from a long way back, which is good. Oh, he's not that happy with it though. I think he may have stayed out of the way for safety reasons in that case. As Simon Trundle goes a bit extracurricular on the track. Mark Draper, that was nice pass lights. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I don't think that exists.
I think Mark needs to come and show his worth in this now.
I do as well.
I've seen him driving the TCR now, and he gets wins in the car now.
Does
and,
he?
And he gets on podiums in officials.
I don't believe it, so he needs to come and prove it.
He needs to come and prove it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Dan Mould's leagues are good, but they're no BSTV.
Just a bit of luck. He didn't have anything in his eye that day.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, you need to get back here, Mark. You need to come and fight with the real boys.
So
somewhere on the track. I don't know whereabouts.
Yeah, we've got Tony Walker pitted now. We'll have to see where he pops back out.
I reckon he will come out somewhere between either Matt Elmore. No, because Matt Elmore's gone. Somewhere between Jamie and Matt. Because they were getting a very nice little battle on before Matt and Tony.
Yeah, Tony's coming out.
He's come out in front of him.
Well, maybe not, because
as we just saw in the background as well, the other Walker.
Yeah. The lucky one.
Approaching very quickly as well. I mean, Tony managed to get out though.
His brother's the next one on the must lap list.
As I just had a car explode. 13th.
Yeah.
Oh no, Shenanier.
Oh dear. That's not where you want to be.
And the car seems to be still accelerating.
Right.
Is that wheel moving or is it just me?
I don't know. We're gonna see what this is like from an onboard. If everything just goes very rigid, then it's. Oh no, That's weird. That. Good God, he just missed that geocar. And yeah, there goes his engine. That's what you heard. Or we both heard.
We have seen one of the funniest moments, and I probably shouldn't talk about it just yet since we're not that finished into the race, but I have seen witnessed one of the funniest crashes on this track in the officials, which was Mr. Walker.
Alright.
They were going through turn 1 and him and one other person took 5 cars out.
Oh, what?
All 5 were the lead cars.
Oh dear. Oh no, I've seen that. He put it on a replay, didn't he?
Seen it. Yeah, it was on one of his replays, and he loses it around the kink basically, and the car just goes straight across the track. And you know yourself, you can't do anything when you're on grass in this game. No. The car's just gone. Literally, all you can do is shout at people saying, "Move out my way."
Yeah, for me, the grass is faster than the tarmac.
Yeah, we did a league race a long time ago now, and it was around Silverstone, around the smaller version.
Yeah.
And I got put out and went straight across the grass, and all Matt, Stephen could hear were me going, "No, Joe, I'm coming!" And literally, this car stopped dead right in front of me. It just appeared out of nowhere right in front of me. So, yeah, I sent a very long apology to the person. And when we went back to watch the replay, we both submitted a steward's inquiry because someone hit me off the road.
Right.
Proper body checked me. As we've just seen Stephen Walker go in the pits.
Yes, we have. Now, we've seen how much
he
of a
would have
gamble
taken
it
that
is.
Easily. He'd have braked fully into that.
He probably nearly stopped the car at the last turn in order to not speed into this one, seeing...
As we just seen, someone make a move on Gary.
Oh. Oh, is that a car unlapping themselves from him? It is. It's Spencer. So Gary will care not one jot about that.
As Stephen comes out the pit now.
Just ahead of Jason Haddington.
And I will say it again.
Yeah.
He's now done 23 laps in the car, and he still hasn't pitted.
And he's currently in 5th place.
And he's in 5th place.
Yes, he needs to pit, but we'll ignore that for now.
Stephen didn't have the quickest of pits, like I said he wouldn't. He's obviously taken it easy, but the stop time between him and Simon, he's got 2 seconds extra on Simon.
Right.
Wonder why.
Well, yeah. Excuse me.
Because that's stop time, that, isn't it?
Stop time is the smaller number, yeah.
Bridge.
Yeah. I mean, Simon's stop was unusually short anyway. That's why I made the comment about solar-powered Honda, but...
So really make it to the end of the race.
Yeah, we've got a few battles brewing now. We've got this one. And then 13 seconds back down the road are these 3 who are about to start squabbling over 9th place.
The other thing we didn't look at is where's Stephen come out? Is he out in...
He's out in effective P1 and with a few seconds to JB, I think it is.
Yes, he's got open road in front of him, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he should be able to put in good laps now.
And we've got...
So
Michael going to pit? That is the question.
Michael Seal and Gary still to pit at all, along with Jamie, Jeffrey and Jason Haddington.
Michael has stayed out. Gary's pitting.
Yeah.
As I've just seen the marker go really slowly into the pit. And Jamie Jeffrey's in the pit as well.
Yep.
So this is now Stephen's time to push that a little bit extra.
Well, he's going to overhaul the... Ooh, that was a wall hit by Stephen Walker.
Hip check. We'll call it a hip check on the wall.
Yeah. Jamie Jeffrey is entering... Is he entering his pit box or is he driving through? Why is Gary still stood still?
He's going now.
Ah, right, I was going to say.
8 seconds is probably where it should be at.
Yeah, I think that's right.
As we see Kylie pit as well.
Ah, that's who I was watching. Kylie coming in.
And Jamie Jeffrey also out on his way out of the pit. Well, Matt got through Simon.
Oh, right. Oh, did he? Oh, well, that was a bit of a...
How did he get past him though?
Let's have a look.
Was that a push down the straight or?
So he's going to step out of the toe right now, I would think. Yeah.
Down the inside, isn't it? The Honda, I think, going off what we've seen from Jamie and Simon, it has to brake a little bit earlier than the other cars.
It does. Oh, he tried to go for a gap that was always going to close, and that's what we saw and heard. As Michael Seal has now pitted.
How close is this going to be, or are we going to see the gap at 6 seconds again?
I think there'll be a substantial gap because there goes Stephen. I think the battle here
Michael's on his way out now already. Yeah, it's 6 seconds again. Oh, and we've just seen a crash.
Where was that?
Tony Walker.
Oh, right. Oh,
the back end of the car is ripped off.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony.
See, oddly, that's coming out as a Roger Morton crash.
I think he elected him on the way out of it.
Ah, right. So where is Roger?
Roger did say sorry, so I don't know whether he's just apologised for the end nudge.
Well, let's see. We're on Tony
Yeah,
Walker.
it's on the grass. Look, there you go.
Oh.
And that's what Roger was apologising for because
Well,
he hit him.
Not really got anything to apologise for. There was
No. And I think Tony mentioned that. He said, what you're apologising for? It was me.
Yeah. I mean, Roger's
a
nice bloke.
Stephen battling through, trying to get past JB. JB's letting him through, I think. Yeah, he is.
This is a multi-21, I'm going to assume. Is this for position?
Is this Sam or Spencer on Matt? Is it Spencer?
Spencer,
at 57,
yeah,
isn't
Matt's let him go. So it's all kicking off again. We find this in these races. So a few gaps formed.
As we're now seeing Stephen push that car to try and get as many overtakes and make people laps down at this point.
Well, it's
That's
always
Stephen's
a benefit,
aim.
isn't it? Yeah. Many cars as you can put between yourself and the next competitor. Sam Blease, of course, in this race, he won the previous one and Stephen didn't do well. In this race, Stephen's looking to win it, providing nothing goes wrong for him. And Sam Blease is down in 14th. So both races have balanced each other out in terms of the top of the standings. The one that's doing very well is Gary Craig, because he's had consistent good results. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Bear in mind, though, that there was a 27-point difference between Stephen and Sam going into this round.
Right, so, yeah, all of these things are fairly pivotal, aren't they?
So, this is where I think, am I right in saying that Stephen has closed that gap? So, Sam came first, didn't he? I don't know how many incident points, so we'll just say he gets the full one. Where did Stephen finish in the first race? Do we know? I can check. It's fine.
I don't, without making a mess of the screen.
Eighth. Finished 8th, obviously, because he got.
See, he's going to add an advantage there then. So he's lost less points than Sam in the two stages.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it, because now Sam in. I'm not going to say it out loud. To give it, we'll show the results obviously afterwards if I can get it done in time.
That would be good. I can talk for Britain while you do that, I'm sure. So
you can do one of your interviews while I do
it. Yeah. Stephen Walker is your race leader, as you've no doubt noticed. Second is Michael Seal, having a great drive again. Hopefully he keeps that going to the end, because he deserves it. Gary Craig is 7 seconds behind him, and 14 seconds from the lead, but doing a very, very stand-up and solid job. Closing in, is he? Ever so slightly, I think, is Carl Hardy in that Frey Bentos machine. I think there's a Ginsters logo on the back of it as well.
Why does that not surprise me?
Matt Elmore, otherwise known as Gio Elmore. I think he's trying for an extra on the next Matrix one. Is in 5th place. Simon Trundle's in 6th, and he's got 1.6 seconds to catch Cap. Jamie Jeffrey, fully protected, in 7th place with 11 seconds behind him. Back to Jamie. And Jamie has 6 seconds over Tony Walker, who obviously his car looks very second-hand after a self-inflicted bumper removal at the corner he's just gone through, actually, a couple of laps ago. Spencer McCarthy is behind Tony by 2.2 seconds. That gap's coming down quite rapidly now, as Spencer has literally just done the fastest lap of the race. 1:09.88. His own teammate is behind him by 5 seconds, visible on your screen. That's Matt Flannery for Geodesic Racing White. And Jason Haddington is currently in 12th place, 6 seconds behind Matt Flannery. JB Dejoux under pressure from Sam Blease. And not sure what's going on here exactly. I saw Sam get into him a little there, because I think JB was trying to let him through, and I think Sam has ended up with a slowdown for that one, but we'll see.
As Michael's battling through.
Oh, he's let Michael go. That's what that is.
Yeah, and now he's gaining onto JB.
Yeah, the muse on the chat. My flu has turned into COVID, so my cough has got worse. In terms of the pain, but not the regularity. So, well, thanks for the concern. Always good to hear.
It's not good to hear that you've got COVID, though.
No, but that somebody's concerned.
We're all concerned, Pete.
Oh, feel all warm inside now.
That's not what you think it is. That's Jimmy Jeffrey behind you.
So,
as JB lets Michael through.
Yep, and Sam Blease sets off to try and overtake JB and get as many points as he can in this race. Once he's overtaken JB, there's not a lot for him left because it's 19 seconds to Jason Haddington, who wasn't going to race. He's gonna beat the series leader.
He was going to give up. Look at him now. He's flying like an eagle.
Shining like a diamond. Who was that? Was that Rihanna? Someone like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, look at that gap now.
Yeah.
At the front, you've just got two cars driving around. I think that is also to do with the fact that these guys are lapping cars at this point.
Yes, I mean, Oran Park's such a tight and twisty track. It's like fighter planes round a teacup, isn't it? Is Bill Switzer's favourite saying for this one. And you do end up with cars lapping multiple other cars, even in a relatively short race like we're doing here. I mean, a 40-minute race, it's fairly standard.
It's a short race, really.
Yeah.
It's not a short race, though, is it, in regards to this track?
No, not at all. Not when you're going to do like 39 laps or whatever they're going to end up with. Whoa! And he's got that done in pretty quick time. JB tried to turn in and there was a Gio Elantra there.
And Matt Elmore's gotten past Carl Hardy. I don't know why or what happened. I did hear
They were miles apart a minute ago. Oh, yeah. Carl Hardy. I think we're going to see him arrive from stage left or right.
Was he delivering pies again?
I think he may have been off at a pie stand.
He was definitely dropping some off, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He has got spare.
Let's see what happened to the pie man.
He's going to have done what everyone else has done. Touch a bit of grass, side of the car.
There it is. In fact, we've seen two other cars do that tonight.
It's so easy to do. You think you're in that rhythm. And it was very tight between them both.
I know, thread the needle. Oh, hang on.
As we see Carl get past Gary.
Yeah, and that's not good. What's going on there?
He took a broken car. Look at the back end of the car.
He has a destroyed car.
Done the same thing as he hit the back end of that curb. Tenner says he has, because it's this bit again.
It does look like it. So it's this next portion now.
Yeah, look, there you go. A bit of grass there. Back end just swings out. And that is really unfortunate for Gary as well, because he was having a... You cursed him. That's all your fault, Pete.
Yeah, I really did.
As Matt overtakes him, because you said he was doing quite well in both races.
Hopefully he didn't use his fast repair and he can get in, get it repaired and get out again.
As he's trying to avoid the cars coming through, though, isn't he? That's the problem he's got here.
Yeah. So
and he's dropped down to 10th, I want to say.
Well, he'll still get points if he can get back out. He's back out already.
He is, but it's where he's out now, because we've got a broken Tony Walker with Spencer McCarthy in front of him, with Gary chasing behind.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot left for him. Oh, in fact, we're already finished. Whilst all that was going on, we missed our leader crossing the line, so lots of cars will have already completed because they're all lapped. You can quit that right away, Matt Elmore. Stop flashing your lights. So this will promote some other cars to positions that they didn't expect to get to, with a notable one being Matt Elmore.
Mr. Elmore. Carl obviously gained a position from that. Simon. Jamie Jeffrey, Jamie Wilson, Spencer McCarthy, and Tony Walker all gaining from that. And Tony, to be fair, bringing that car on without a rear end is some good going, because I can't imagine that would have felt very nice.
No,
Oh, as we see,
who was that?
someone's doing the jump. It's got to be Spencer, because we were practicing it the other night to see where the jumps were.
Let's have a look at that.
There's a very special jump at the end of the race you can do that.
There is. No, that's after he's done it.
No,
Oh no, here we go. Sorry, I thought we were further on.
There's a big jump here.
Well, oh, that's a good one. Hey, oh god. And it reset him. Okay, so that was interesting. Right then, let's do a bit of this. Results. Yeah, I'll let you run through them.
So, for the end of round 22, the feature race this week at Oran Park, you've got Stephen Walker in first place, followed by Michael Steele in second. Third was Matt Elmore. Fourth was Carl Hardy in the Pie Mobile.
Sorry.
Fifth was Simon Trendle. It's all right. Seventh was Jamie Jeffrey. Eighth was Jamie Wilson. Have I got one? No, seventh was Jamie Wilson. Eighth was Tony Walker. Ninth was Gary Craig with an unfortunate crash at the end of the race. 10th was Matt Flannery. 11th was Kylie Haddington. Go on, Kylie lad. 12th was Sam Blease. 13th was JB Dejoux. 14th was Spencer McCarthy. 15th was Roger Morton. 16th was Arnaud Chenanier. And 17th was Chris Needham.
Awesome stuff. Thanks for that. Right. So, what a pair of races. I mean, Oran Park's always notorious for kind of little incidental crashes and just multiple cars piling into corners. And it was no different tonight, was it? And I was surprised by how many people got caught out by the pits. Speeding into pit road, that was quite dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, race one, everyone kind of held themselves quite high, apart from Jamie, obviously, who was having his issues. There wasn't as many crashes as I thought I'd seen in that small race. But second race, obviously, we saw the people that were probably trying to concentrate a little bit too hard that lost it in that second race, which obviously means walls get hit, and obviously we saw Gary at the end there. If I'd have put any money on it, I would have said Gary would have been staying consistent and finished in that podium spot, unfortunately.
Yeah, in the end, it's been Matt Elmore that's had a very good pair of races, isn't it? Because he's finished second in the first race, third in the second race, so a double podium. Not quite the top spot yet. And was it Michael Seal has done an excellent job as well. Where did he end up? He was 7th in the first race and 2nd in the feature. Looking at the way that the two races have panned out there. So, great bit of racing. Right, let me empty the screen and do a bit of this, and we'll do a bit of this. And we'll start the interviews off because we need to, first of all, and I'll do this one this week, is speak to the primary Geo driver, Matt Elmore. Good evening.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. See what I did there?
I did.
Just try captivating your whole audience. Look.
I know. It was very crowd pleasing, I have to say. So you're probably the highest point scoring individual of the night. I would hazard a guess at.
Artist.
Well, without I wasn't going to say that. You know, I'm not that. I don't do personal comments like that. You fatty. But a second place in the first race and a third gives you a double podium for the night. You must be happy with that.
I'm pleased. I had a bit off. Well, I did some practice the other night, and I was quickest by the smallest of margins compared to Carl. So Carl was my aim to beat. I generally didn't think I had a chance against Wook or the Geo boys. I just thought they was going to drive off. A mixture of luck in the first race got me behind Sam, and I managed to keep with him, which I was quite surprised with. Second race, no idea what happened. I'm never ever going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
No, well, they were loving those pit lane penalties. It has to be said.
Oh, really? Is that what happened?
Yeah, and various different people who are not usually on the Binnet parade, but getting tyres off on the grass and spinning the car into the wall. I think they gifted you a number of positions from doing those two things: speeding in the pits, or rather going too fast into, and then binning it into the wall.
Well, I'll give them all a piece of advice. Just practice it once, and then the second time you do it in the race, and then you'll be all right.
Is that your tactic, is it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So, yeah, it's been quite an eventful evening for you. We saw you tussling with quite a few drivers. Any standout moments for you?
I need to watch it back. My pass on Simon, I don't know how clean it was or how forceful it was. I knew I had to do something because I knew I was that little bit quicker and the Honda struggles. But I had to make the move, and I didn't want to make it unfair or barge him out of the way. I know he had a 0 times, and I think he just knew I was just going to outbrake him. I hope. Like I say, I haven't watched it back. If it was a bit too forceful, I apologise. But yeah.
Doesn't spring to mind that one, Russ. Do you remember it?
Were you watching Curb Cam on Spa?
Yeah, trying to figure out where it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I remember the overtake. I do remember Chimera cars wanting to turn in on other ones, and the car was still there. But we'll let you review it in your own time.
When we watched it, it just looked like he gave room. And I said to you earlier that unfortunately in the Honda, you've got a little bit brake sooner than the Elantra.
I wasn't braking going into
the
the entrance. I was just letting off. So you just let it coast in, and then brake and use the gears. And
yeah,
it
unfortunately on the Honda, it doesn't look like they could do that because we saw it from Jamie and Simon tonight. And let's be honest, them two were in the best weather in the world are pushing that car to its limits.
It's been a handful all season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
and you did get the highest scoring round this week. You got 132 points. You were the highest scoring today.
Nice, I'll take that. Did you see the little gap I squeezed through going past the old car when he stopped for his burger?
I'm surprised there was any gap left with that car and that driver in particular.
Two fat kids in that little space. That's a bit of an achievement, isn't
it? It wasn't just that. He was actually dropping the pies off. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I think he took one bite too many on the start of race 1 as well. Did you see that? He didn't even go. Quick, put the pie back in the holder.
Yeah.
Do my lunch box up so it stays hot.
It was like two Zeppelins trying to squeeze through a tunnel. Anyway, anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your double podium?
Yeah, no, shout out to you lot. Shout out to everyone on the track. I think it was quite clean. I haven't seen any incidents which say otherwise. But yeah, it's a hard track. I didn't think I was going to finish it. So well done to everyone. I think everyone had a good outing as far as I've seen. I haven't heard anything different. So yeah, roll on next week.
Well, we'll let you go back to the interview room and chat to everybody else while you prepare for, where did we say the last race was? I can't remember. I've forgotten.
Red Bull Ring.
Next week, is it?
Red Bull Ring.
Yes.
Yeah, last race.
It's week 12 next week, so you need to make sure you finish off the officials, you boy.
I am absolutely shocking around Red Bull. Absolutely shocking.
And it's the official race as well, mate, so good luck with that.
Oh, you're joking.
No.
I really don't. I just can't do it. It's one of those tracks that just doesn't... Yeah,
I don't think it got changed, so I believe it is the last round. I could double check though.
Oh well. It is what it is.
No, it's not. It's Road America. I lied.
Oh, I like that.
The officials. So we did change it.
We swapped it for the beginning of the season, I think.
It's a long track to do in a race like this, isn't it, I suppose?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, it's fair play.
Right then, we'll let you go and chat with the rest of them.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
See ya.
Right then, next up, let's see, who else finished well? Carl Hardy did all right in the first race, didn't he? He got a third and a fourth. We'll let you interview the pie man himself. He's not been in the interview booth for a little while, but over to you for Mr. Bay Frentos.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pie. I mean, Carl.
Good evening, Russell, Fat Boy Slim.
So, start off with well done tonight, mate. Qualifying in third, I believe.
Yep.
It was quite close up the front end, obviously, with only a couple of attempts between the first 6 cars, I believe.
It was always going to be close, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen you guys practice. You were putting some decent times in practice, so we knew it was going to transfer over to the race. And race 1 came about. We had a good chuckle while you was doing qualifying at your
Paint,
heat 1
by any
paint. Yeah,
chance?
yeah. I don't know where it came from, but it's a good one.
I haven't even seen it yet.
But you need to go watch it. In fact, I go look now while we're talking, so you can see what we're talking about, because it's amazing. Especially when you were getting overtaken in the last race, because it makes sense even more so. So in the first race, there wasn't much in the way of incidents for yourself. You kept it quite clean. In fact, you didn't get any incident points in the first race, did you?
I have no idea, mate. Don't look at that. I normally expect at least 10, so...
No, you actually kept it clean in the first race, pal, which is, for you, is good going, I would say.
Happy days.
Since you are our incident man.
I try.
So, fairly clean race for you in race 1. Is there any highlights for yourself that you can remember? It seems like a while ago, because that last race took forever for me and Pete.
The highlight was just staying on the track for the first race. The second race didn't go as well.
Didn't pan out as quite as well as we thought.
Oh, right, I've got a pie on the car, have I? It's just paused as well, right in front of me. Yeah, looks good. I might keep that.
It's a decent paint, isn't it, right?
Yeah, it's wicked. Yeah, well done.
Well
you
done
obviously had something to do with it.
Nope, not me.
Liar.
Nope, my hands are held high. Pete was it anything to do with me?
Pete can't have a brain to do that.
That's definitely not my talent doing that. No way.
And it's definitely not mine this time.
Right, so it's either definitely Russell, Clyde's not in the country, Wobbly could be, but I'm putting my money on Russell.
You can put the money on me all you want. I'll take the money, because it's definitely not me.
Okay. All right.
Did you... Obviously, you didn't have any issues pitting in race 2. We'll go to race 2 now. There was no issues with pitting in race 2.
Actually got it really well.
I was going to say, did you practice beforehand, or was that first time in the bag?
No, I'd practiced, I'd done about 3.
It's good.
But yeah, I just nailed it.
He says you can do it on the first try, apparently. And then we come to race 2. You guys all seem to be having quite a close battle. You didn't have a great start, as we've just been told.
I'm shocking. I can't get him off the line.
You've not been doing too bad this season, though, with the starts. We've seen Gary absolutely throw everyone off with his starts this season.
It just winds me out. It just drives past you. Yeah, right. Cheers, mate.
I finally got my clutch sorted, so that'll be good to start next season when we do the officials and stuff. You still not quite getting there with the starts, is it?
I can't do it, mate. I can't do it. Like Gary's got a double clutch, right? Well, yep. I'm too old for that, and I will just confuse myself and press something else and do something else, and pretty much just balls it up even more. So I just ride the hell out of the clutch and just go with it.
Right.
That's what I do.
Which is fair enough. If it works for you, it works for you.
It doesn't work fully. But
it gets you off the line, right? You're not sat still, are you?
It gets me rolling. It gets me rolling.
No, it gets you moving, and we're not doing what happened the first week. Was it Jamie Jeffrey the first week that got absolutely followed off the line because his clutch didn't work? Or was it Jack Jones? Remember, Jack Jones? Whatever he's called.
Jack James, wasn't it? Jack James.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he forgot to put it in gear.
Yeah.
And then you was having some decent battles. You were in between Gary and, I want to say it, Michael at one point.
Well, Michael was in front of us, wasn't he? And then it was Gary, and then Simon split between but then made a mistake. So yeah, I was up behind Gary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Simon, man, I don't know how he's doing that in that Honda.
Just pulling out some.
He deserves a round of applause, man. He was on pace tonight as well. He had some wicked. I mean, you could tell he was off pace. I mean, he's a lot quicker driver than what that car's letting him be. But yeah, he done so well tonight. So
unfortunately, he was also at the hands of the bit of grass that you all seemed to touch in the short space of time.
Oh mate, I had a couple of brown moments.
Well, there was, I think, in the feature race especially, we didn't really see it in the first race, but the feature race especially, we saw about 5 people do the same thing.
Yeah, well,
we saw Tony remove his rear end.
Oh really?
Completely, and still drive the car. I still don't know how he did it, but there was no back end to his car. We saw Simon did it, but it wasn't as much damaging as Gary. And then obviously you did it, but you got quite lucky, didn't you? You escaped the wall.
Talent, mate, talent.
Most people didn't escape the wall. I like you call it talent. I'll leave it if that's what you want to call it as. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, I was so lucky.
Yeah, that's more like it. And then obviously you just missed out on a podium, finishing 4th.
I feel sorry for Matt.
What's that?
I felt sorry for Matt. I'd give it to him again.
Well,
if I'd I mean, Jesus Christ, it winds me up letting him past. I made that bloody mistake, and I knew he was going to go past me. It winds the hell out of me, little shitbag.
We do like the comparison that Pete called it when we talked about you two when he squeezed through that gap. What was it you said, Pete?
Like 2 Zeppelins trying to force themselves into a tunnel.
Was it the first race where he got a bloody yeah, it was the first race. Got a wicked start, come on the inside of me, and I just got something about hitting him. So I tagged his rear end. I thought I was going to spin him.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have laughed, but I mean, after saying sorry, obviously. But oh yeah, Jesus, that was close.
You did. You. I think your start was on par with his. You came across, didn't you?
Yeah.
And tapped his rear.
I hate him going past me.
You love it, really. You love it. You love it when any of us go past you.
We do a lot of laps together, so it's pure banner. It's good. It is good.
Yeah. Just keep it on track, though. We don't want to see no movies going on OnlyFans, right? Is there anyone... Well, so to start off, we've got Red Bull Ring next week. Are you prepared, not prepared, looking forward to it, hate the track, indifferent? How do you feel about Red Bull?
I don't think I hate any track, but it's one of them, innit? It's tough. Is that the one really hard on off tracks?
Yes. So this is the one I'm really looking forward to seeing you go around.
See, now we all know what I'm like. So no doubt I'll be doing 3 drive-throughs. Yeah, and just go with it.
I'm going to print it'll be your cleanest race of the season.
Yeah, whatever.
You'll pit in the you'll sit in a wall and pit.
See, I've now just got this I've got to go against you and make sure I do 3 now, haven't I?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a good track. I just can't do it. So yeah, I'll probably be mid-pack.
I mean, we'll see. I don't think you will, but we'll go with that one anyway. Is there anyone you want to say? Any shout outs you want to do? Anyone you want to say thank you to?
Obviously yourselves, putting on a blinding stream and doing what you do behind the scenes. Pete, well done.
Cheers.
So you don't want to see what I do behind the scenes?
I don't need to know, mate. Waste of space. And
wow.
Obviously Michael, obviously he's just joined and he's putting in some brilliant results and second in that second race. Dave couldn't make it tonight because he's at a birthday party, so unlucky loser, big nose twat.
I mean,
and Paul
he can't
Roger,
make it when he's talking to us.
Yeah.
He was definitely in the stream earlier on.
What time was he on the stream?
Just after the start.
Just after the start, yeah.
Yeah, he done that on purpose, didn't he?
Yeah. He just said, "I'm not racing tonight."
Yeah, he's a freaking idiot, and he paranoid old shit. Love him. He hasn't been very well recently, so I'll let him off. Yeah, back to Michael and Roger. Bless him. He had a hard time. He's had a hard week with his racing in real life. So yeah, bless him. He's not in the right space at the moment. But hey ho.
Well, wish him all luck from us.
Yeah, will do.
And this is Carl, and we'll see you next week for Red Bull Ring, where you're going to win.
Yeah, tosser. All right, see you later.
Enjoy your pie.
All right, love you.
Love you.
2 pie.
Two
Two pies. It was just 2 pie.
He's wearing one. Right, so let's next bring in... Who have I already spoken to? Matt Elmore.
Matt Elmore, we've got Mr. Walker and probably Michael.
Yeah, well, first off, seems only right, since he won the feature race. Lucky Wookie Walker, good evening.
Oi, oi, Savaloy.
Oi, oi. So, first race did not go to plan whatsoever. You and Spencer are away at the races at the front and then got all tangled up. Was it Spencer or was it? Yeah, it was Spencer, wasn't it? And then he waited for ever and to let you back through, and then you carried on racing. But by then I think you were that far down the field because it was quite near the start. It was difficult to get too far forward.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I was probably taking it a little bit too easy, but I was like, first lap, cold tyres. I just wanted to get the car where I needed it to be. It would have been fine by the time we got round that lap. It was just, I defended the 2 corners before, so I didn't get any drive through into that corner. And when everything's warmed up, you can just let off and carry the speed. But because, like I said, everything was cold, I just dabbed the brakes a bit, and I think it caught Spencer a little bit off guard. But as I turned in, it was clear there was no car there, so we just hadn't done any practice near each other because I've been ill, so I've not been on. This is the first time I've been on since Sunday night, so it was just one of those things. Obviously, it's frustrating, yeah, but it's just unfortunate. It's just racing. Appreciate that he waited, and he did give me. We got back up to 8th and 9th, and then he did let me finish 8th. So I had the pole for the second race. He didn't have to do that. I do appreciate that.
No, I mean that is exceptional sportsmanship, isn't it? It was mentioned on the chat by Mark Draper as well, and it needs calling out because you don't get that in officials, do you? And you don't get that in a lot of organised leagues either.
No, it was like I say, very kind of him. I said he didn't have to do it. Obviously, he felt a bit bad because he's not in the championship, and he took me out. And obviously, Sam did win that first race. So yeah, it's just racing. It's happened. It's done now. It doesn't matter. So I was going to say, yeah, we did well to get back up. We were I don't know, almost dead last. I think it was only one person behind us or 2 people behind us, and we did. It was an exciting race, to say the least, to get back up to where we did in the end.
Yeah, I mean,
on a track that's difficult to overtake.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there was some great overtakes. You did some of them. Sam Blees and Spencer were putting people behind them very, very easily at certain points. And some other great performances. Simon Trendle managed to keep that Honda in a really competitive position for way longer than a lot of us expected him to, and has still finished in 5th. So the competition is still strong. I don't know what that's done to the stand-ins, but I can just nip over here and have a look. So it looks like it looks like you've taken the lead. Is that right?
No.
No?
No,
after this week, he's 11 points off Sam.
Yeah.
We gained 16 points on Sam today.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him in the second race. I just stuck my head down and got on with what I could.
Pit lane speeding and redressing a position, similar to Spencer in race 1. Sam got caught up. I think it was with Jamie. I can't remember. Yeah, it was. So yeah, there was lots going on for the Geo boys tonight, individually in each race. Michael Seal tried to keep you honest for the race, but you still managed to finish 10.5 seconds ahead of him in that second one. Just shows that the talent is there, and even on a short track like this, a very intense track, you're more than capable of doing it.
Yeah, when I saw that he was behind me, I was like, well, I need to get a really good start. Obviously, he's had quite a few good races now. He's getting, I think, to grips with everyone in the league, and obviously he's good anyway. So when I saw he was behind me, I was like, oh God, right, okay, I need to get a good start and then try and make a gap as quick as I can. I don't know if the gap suddenly went from about a second to 2 seconds. I don't know if he just made a mistake or someone tried to overtake him on the second or third lap. I'm not sure. It just made the gap a bit easier. So then I said to the guys, I was like, right, I'm just going to turn the game up and mute everything else so I could just get my head down, because obviously I wouldn't say I was driving angry. Just I was like, I know I needed to win this race, or at least put myself in the best position to win it. Because obviously I knew it's difficult to overtake, and Sam would have started 8th. So obviously I didn't really know what was going on, because I didn't want everyone to tell me. I just wanted to do my race and then just figure out at the end, because if I was overthinking it or whatever, I'm likely to make a mistake. And then the traffic, because obviously everyone's a bit out of sync with the pits and that, so I just want to say thanks to all the guys that were coming out of the pits, and they were, I don't know whether they're technically a lap down or whatever, but they didn't put up much of a fight and let everyone through, so I appreciate that as well. And yeah, it was just a case of trying to limit the damage done by what happened in the first race. While unfortunate, it's just, as Russ would say, we're racing, innit? So
Hooray!
we're racing. Yeah, no, it's a good little track. It's difficult, and I wasn't expecting to pull, like I say, that gap on Michael. But then towards the end of the race, Spencer had the fastest lap, and I was like, I need the points. So I was pushing as much as I dared to not crash in that first corner, and I think I nicked it. I don't know how close it was.
All right, I'll tell you. Spencer had done a 109.88, and you did a 109.85.
Jeez, that's close, wasn't it?
You don't
Very
get much closer than that.
No, we were talking about it after we both had the optimal for like a 0.6 and a 0.7, but it's really difficult to be consistent around that track. It's a great track, but it really lends itself to what like proper racing, shall we say?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's quite a raw track, isn't it? Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your victory in the feature race?
Yeah, obviously to you guys for, well, it's not even English, is it? To you guys for putting on the show. Oh, I'm so poorly. The rest of the teammates, they had a good race. Spencer, obviously, for the redress at the end of, both this when it happened and then afterwards, right at the end of the first race. Appreciate that, and just everyone else just for being good sports and good eggs. It was bloody tough. I'm absolutely shattered.
Well, it won't help if you're not well. And Red Bull Ring next week?
Yeah, I'd rather crash the car into a wall. I hate it. Sam's really good at it, so I've just got to blag it, basically.
Well, happy blagging, and we'll see you next time out. I'll let you go and recover from whatever ailment you're suffering from. Stephen Walker.
Everything. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right then, for your interview pleasure, he finished, I think it was about 7th or something in the first race. Michael Seal, I can't remember. And he got a 2nd place and podium finish in the feature race. Michael Seal for you, Russ.
Good afternoon, Michael.
Afternoon.
How are we after that nice little venture around Oran Park?
I really struggled in race 1 to get into the rhythm and sort of was overdriving a lot, I think. But it came good at the end of race 2. In the end, sort of found a bit of pace and.
So we went into qualifying. You started in, I want to say 7th.
Yep, 7th.
And you finished in 7th. So that's not too bad of a jaunt because it's not a loss of any positions. We saw obviously quite a few moments with you in a pack of cars going through in the first race. If I remember rightly, you was fighting with Jamie Jeffrey and Jamie Wilson for the majority of the start of the race, I believe.
Yep.
I think there was a lot of fair racing between you all. I think there was a few times you all overtook each other and gave space, managed to get around each other. I'm sure, did you go on the inside of Jamie Wilson, or was it Jamie Wilson on the inside of you in one of the corners?
I think I went down the inside at turn 1.
Turn 1, wasn't it? Yeah.
Turn 1, and then threw it off half a lap later.
Yeah,
it is.
That's right. We did see that bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And then it set you up nicely for race 2 to start in 2nd on the grid. And then from there, it was just kind of managing your pace, I suppose. Like you say, you were struggling around this track, and a nice lucky escape of Gary. Because Gary ahead of you or behind you at one point at the start?
He was behind. I want to say
after you pitted, you came out in front, didn't you? Because you led you led 3 laps, didn't you? And Steve.
Yeah,
that was right.
I stayed out long, and I struggled in the first kind of like 10 minutes of the race to sort of like get it all switched on and get in a bit of a rhythm, and then Gary closed up a bit, and then when I think he got in a battle with the cars behind, and he just allowed me to break away and focus on moving forward.
And then push your car nicely into 2nd and just keep it there, basically.
Yeah.
We saw you and Stephen obviously overtake some of the back markers. There wasn't any fiercely fighting or anyone trying to push themselves to stay ahead of you. It was all you were gaining. Let's let Michael through or let Stephen through. So that was good to see this week.
Oh it's always good like that. It is. There's never any trouble with like different people, or it's always fair. Everyone's fair in this league.
You actually set the 3rd fastest lap in the feature race.
Did I really?
On the 21st lap is when you did it as well.
Yeah,
which is probably just before you broke toe from everyone, I presume.
I would imagine so.
Because you did have a few cars around you at that point, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Either lapped cars or people pushing from behind.
Yeah.
And then obviously you finished with a nice 12-second gap from the cars behind at the end.
Well, they're really that big.
Yeah, you was 10 seconds behind Stephen, and then 12 seconds behind you was Matt.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So it wasn't too bad of a night for you, considering you weren't too confident in the first race. I think, if I remember rightly, your lap time in the first race wasn't that far off the top either. It was only 0.4.
10.6 when I did in race 1.
Yeah. So
like
you were 0.4, 0.3 behind. So it's not too bad. I mean,
it's
not a massive track, but it's a very complex track, especially if you can't get into it. We mentioned that earlier in the first race.
It's very competitive, isn't it? The top kind of like 10 cars, especially, are all within tenths now. No one's really got a big advantage anymore.
I mean, the points you've been gaining throughout the season are good. You're currently 28 points behind joint 15th, which is Matt Flannery and Jamie Jeffrey.
Okay, yeah.
Obviously,
that's
you
good,
started. When did you start? Was it round?
Magny Kurs, I want to say.
5 then?
5 maybe.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I've got the results here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Magny Kurs, and I didn't have a great night. And I think Brands Hatch was my second one.
Right. So yeah, it will have been either round 7, like qualifying round 7 and 8. I think was about it for that.
Yep.
So you're not too bad on the standings. Do you reckon you'll be sticking around for another season if it happens?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like it's fair. It's clean. It's a good group of drivers. It is what else more can you ask really? I've enjoyed it a lot, and I'll be sticking around.
And more importantly, how are you around Red Bull Ring? Are we going to see the fiercely forward? I'm not using that as the team name again this time. Michael Steele. Are we going to see a struggle maybe at the start and then, as you've done tonight, get into the flow, or is it not a very good track for yourself?
I don't think I've really ever raced around there, in all fairness, or not in TCR. So but on paper, it shouldn't be too bad. But like, you never really know until you run some laps. Hopefully, sort of, I can be up there, and that's the target. But it's going to be another track of staying in the tow, isn't it? And maybe not being silly early on, just sticking with the lead pack.
Well, hopefully you can, and we'll see how that goes next week. Is there any shout outs you want to give?
It's just a big thanks for you guys for putting it all on and allowing us all to race, really.
No, can't argue with that, mate. What about your teammates? Is there any teammates you want to shout out to, or you just
I suppose the best one is Carl brings all the pies in, doesn't he? So I suppose the best thank him.
Yeah. Cheers, mate, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, see ya.
Around Red Bull. Thanks, Michael.
Right then. Probably got just about enough time. Shall we speak to Jamie or Gary?
It's your turn, so I'll let you pick. It's your...
Yeah, I'll speak to Gary. So hopefully he's not mid-conversation. Good evening, Gary.
I was.
You were? Oh, dear. I know you're in a similar situation to me in terms of health. So hopefully you're not barking at your monitor like I've been all night.
I actually feel fine.
Oh, dear. I hate you because I feel rough.
I'm still positive, but I'm feeling fine.
No, I'm always positive.
Are you sure?
Very positive.
He doesn't mean positive in COVID either.
No.
Let you take the rest of that one.
He's beat up those monkeys again.
Yeah. Anyway, so first race, finished fourth. Had a steady away kind of race in terms of keeping up with that front group. You had, I think it was Simon behind you for quite a lot of that race, and managed to stay ahead of him, but not quite on the podium. And then I stupidly made a comment to Russ about you being the most consistent of all the drivers of the evening and going to get yourself a fourth and a third. And then that turn happened.
Thank God I can blame you for it.
yeah, there's a way out. There's a way out.
So, race one, I don't think I had the pace to really overtake the guys ahead of me. So all I did is I actually backed off of Carl a little bit so that I could have a bit more visibility of the turns, because it's really tricky to spot your turn and you're braking around here when you're close to someone. So I purposefully did give him a little bit more of a gap that it probably could have. Like, I could have pushed a bit harder, but I just would have been at much more risk of throwing it off. So I was happy to kind of just roll in behind them there. Race two, I was again just cast the geodesicus slowdowness in the pit laneness spell on them, which kind of helped me get into that position with the podium. And then when Carl pit early, because he was definitely behind me and I was probably holding him up, so I was fully expecting to come out behind Carl. But when I came out from the pits 2.5 seconds ahead of him, I was quite surprised. I was just kind of full steam ahead, staying ahead. But then Carl made a mistake a couple of laps before the end, so I eased off. And the minute I eased off, I made a mistake myself. I should have just kept on pushing. You never ease off, because that's when you mess up, and that's exactly what happened.
Right, okay.
I just let it roll a bit through one of the corners, and I ended up taking a bit more speed, touched the grass, and just ended up in that wall. Totally my own fault.
You were one of 5 who it was totally their own fault. On that same corner, we had Simon Trendle, Carl Hardy, you. Who else was it? JB ended up over there. And
did everyone else collect a meatball from the stand like I did?
Definitely.
You say Tony. Tony lost his rear end.
Tony, yeah. Nobody else meatballed, though. You did it properly.
Yeah, I had to wrangle the car back on 3 wheels. I think it felt very sketchy to get it back in for the quick repair, which I fortunately didn't have to take during my first pit stop. Yeah,
we watched your crawl to the pits, and your right front was hanging off on our screens at least. So
But still, 3rd to 9th in one lap's pretty good. You don't see that often.
No, third
Good
to ninth.
progress.
It's very much Talladega Nights all over again. So yeah, hopefully that keeps your 3rd place in the championship alive.
It actually looks quite safe.
Right.
I've got 116 points to Cap. Cap has already got a 0-point drop round, so that's whatever he scores next week. He's got to score at least 116 to get my score now, but I've also got a worst week of, I think it's like 64. So if I get any more than that, I'll actually get a little like more of a buffer than I currently do, hopefully. So if we'll probably end reasonably close. You know, you could quite easily score 100 points next week, but I do have the ability to push my own score up a little bit as well.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it comes to you, and you know that 3rd is consolidated, and you score a decent series of positions for the team between you and JB, and keep the BSTV flag flying up at the top of that one as well. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before you go and feel fine with your COVID? Apparently.
Yeah, you for being such a champ and soldiering on.
Yeah, proper little princess, mate.
Yeah, but no, it's usually. I know it's not great. I didn't feel great earlier in the week, so fair plays for sitting and talking for 3 hours whilst it's not feeling great.
Ish. I've just did it.
Ish.
Every now and then, Gary. That's all I've heard on the stream.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sure Russ pulled his weight.
Oh yeah,
Probably
more than earning his wage tonight. We'll see you.
Hearing about this wage and not seeing any pay.
Yeah,
It's really weird. Yeah.
You'll just spend all your wage on a Harry Potter box set anyway. I don't. You know.
It'll be easy, Tiger.
You've been getting some grief over that. I've seen some posts. Red Bull Ring next time out. You like it there?
I do. I was going well there last time until incidents happened.
Until you weren't. Yeah.
Until drivers driving straight onto the apex or off the track. But yeah, fingers crossed I can still have some kind of pace here. I'm certainly a bit further behind the guys on pace than I was then. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Awesome stuff. We'll see you then. Great evenings racing, Gary Craig.
Cheers, guys.
Right then, that's everybody who's stacked up for the interviews. Now we've got the onerous task of driver of the evening. Mine's quite simple tonight, actually. Mine was possibly going to be Michael Seal for just doing so well in his first season. But I can't overlook the Spencer McCarthy sportsmanship twice in the same race. And it's just too much to ignore. So my vote tonight goes to Spencer for upholding fine, virtuous sportsmanship.
Which is pretty well given there. I don't know if I can't disagree with it. He's done well. We all know how these guys love to push each other around, and you don't really get to see that much that often because they're not usually in that position. A good drive by Stephen in race 2. He got his head down, obviously, given the position he started on pole. He got his head down and pushed. It's not easy when race 1 doesn't go as well. Matt Elmore had a decent night, finishing high up in both races with 2 podiums tonight. The Pie Eater himself, obviously, until he had a crash. Michael having a spectacular race 2 again this week. The Simon who pushed that car to its wit's end, obviously had his issue in race 2, but he's still managing to put that car in positions that would it belong there if someone else was driving that car?
And he was the highest finishing non-Elantra.
He was in race 2.
Race 2,
yeah. In race 1, obviously, Gary was just ahead. I'm going to go with Mr. Elmore because week on week, he's getting quicker. He's starting to show his form. And usually, he isn't the type of person to go for any moves. He just likes to sit behind people and wait for them to make mistakes. But we're starting to see him actually make them moves. And as Tony's just rightfully said, he's been a bit of an alien for the last couple of weeks. And it's good to see him go from where he probably was a couple of seasons ago to now, racing with the likes of Sam, Spencer, Stephen, even in officials, he's doing the same thing. And obviously that doesn't sway my decision here. But yeah, Matt Elmore for me.
Awesome stuff. As I've just mentioned, this series, the TCR Challenge for BSTV, resolves itself out next week at Red Bull Ring. We will have a dash to the championship for Sam Blease and Stephen, and see if Gary Craig can hold on to that third. It looks fairly safe for him, but you never know. We've got driver of the meeting, which is still up for grabs. There's quite a few drivers on 2 votes, which is Carl, Roger, Gary, Simon and Matt Elmore. And then we've got Stephen Walker on 3, who's currently in 2nd place, and Tony Walker is on 5. He amassed quite a lot at the beginning of the season. So let's see if he can maintain that right to the end. I've thoroughly enjoyed this race or pair of races at Oran Park. I'd come here every week if I could, because every series that I ever seem to broadcast on that comes here has similar, highly eventful and very competitive races. It's just a mecca for decent racing. And let's see if Red Bull Ring can offer up the same next week. Also, at the end of next week, is it? No, it's not. I think it's the week after the V8's return. I'll just double check what I'm telling you. So the schedule is... Bathurst is on the 4th of March.
It is, yes, sorry, 18th was last weekend, wasn't it?
That was Belle Isle. It was a brilliant series of races. So no reason that the endurance race at Bathurst won't be any different. So join us for that on the 4th of March. I'll remind you next week, and I'll bring the broadcast to a close for tonight. I'll let Russ say his thanks and goodbyes, and then we will see you next week. So thanks to everybody who turned up to race. Thanks to everybody who turned up to watch and join us on the commentary. Thanks a lot to Russ. He's given his Wednesday evenings over to this season, and it's been great having him in the booth up to this point, and hopefully to the end of the season too. And I'll see you all next time. So good evening, everybody. Over to you, Russ.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming, and see you next week, hopefully.